Hey guys, before we start, a quick shout out to Alpha Dog Nutrition for sponsoring this podcast. Alpha Dog products are now available at dusupply.com, and you can use code ALPHADOG15 at checkout for 15% off and a credit for free shipping to try it yourself. Now let's get you to your podcast.
Welcome to my podcast, where we are going to talk about a lifestyle with dogs and throw in a few life lessons along the way. Whether you're a hound hunter, bird dog enthusiast, running setters, pointers, retrievers, or a flat-out running dog junkie, this podcast is for you. I am your host, Heath Hyatt, a certified law enforcement canine trainer with over 3 decades of personal and professional training and handling experience. It's time for me to pay it forward. So grab your leads, lace up those boots, and come and join me on this lifelong process of teaching, training, and learning. Are you looking to unlock your dog's full potential and give them the best nutrition possible for peak performance? Then look no further. Inukshuk has what you're looking for. Inukshuk's nutrient-dense formulas are crafted to keep your dog's energy high and performance top-notch. Packed with premium proteins and essential fats, Inukshuk delivers the balanced nutrition your dog needs to thrive. From hunting dogs to police canines, Inukshuk is trusted by professionals. Give your dog the power of peak performance with Inukshuk Professional Dog Food. Welcome back, friends, to another episode of What's Up Wednesday. It's where we're going to get all of our canine training know-how. Right? Well, we're going to change it up a little bit today. So we're going to do a little bit of less training and a little bit more preparation. So before we get started, guys, this weekend we've had a lot of bad storms, especially on the East Coast. A lot of the people that I know have been affected by it. Kentucky, I know London, Kentucky got wiped. Our good friend Jerry Barker, he escaped it, but had some neighbors that had a lot of property damage, some garages and buildings and stuff tore up. And Indiana looks like it got hit pretty hard too. We know that Chris's brother pretty much lost everything he had. Ended up in a cellar. So, our prayers and stuff go out to them, and we want to make sure that everybody's doing well. So just something to think about. Yesterday, I judged a show for Tri-County Coon Hunters Association, which was up in Covington, Clifton Forge. So it's been a while since I've been up there, but it was good to go up there and see a bunch of guys that I haven't seen in a while. They had their bear events in the morning, so they had the bear bay and the drag and the treeing contest, and then had the bench show at 1:30, and had a pretty good turnout. And then they were doing the UKC water race and the field trials after I left, so didn't get to stick around for that, but it's always good to go and see those guys. And it was a good turnout. Seeing, it was a lot of dogs, which I was really surprised, and I was, enthused by that, because you don't see a whole lot of people doing these events anymore, and it was pretty packed from what I normally see. So got to do that. Just got back from a short trip down to the coast to hunt with BB and Doug, and we go on these trips all the time. And I've been traveling, since the mid-90s. So that's a long time, right? And, whether I started out in the competition coon world, and of course, you only had to worry about one dog. You were taking one dog with you, and you just needed to bring what you needed to hunt with and the dog, and that was pretty much it. And then, in the early 2000s, it evolved into, I took several trips before 2000. So I was going north and hunting, Maine, New York, Canada. So this has been a this has been what I'm saying is this has been over a long period of time that I've kind of put this stuff together. And then when I got into the law enforcement side in the canine world, it kind of brought me back to the competition stuff where I'm just dealing with one dog. My car is packed. Everything that I need for my dog is in that car, right? So packing for a hound hunting trip isn't just about remembering your gear. It's about anticipating what you're going to need for your dog, the type of terrain you're in, and your comfort in the field. So that's what we're going to talk about today. So I switched out trucks, still have my old hunting truck, and I didn't realize that when I went to start putting stuff together, how much stuff that I had in there that I didn't even think about. So the truck that I'm just going to use this truck as my traveling truck a little bit. It's newer. Um, Marshall Nestor made me that wonderful dog box uh, that allows me to haul more dogs if I choose to do so. I've got a place for storage in the back. It's got like a toolbox part all the way in the front, so I can put my stuff up in the front of that. But so switching out trucks, so I had to kind of go back and repack everything. And this is kind of what brought this up is, what do we need? What do we use? And like I said, guys, this is me doing it over 30 years. So I'm just going to throw some things at you. Maybe it helps you. Maybe you're already ahead of the game. I used to do a list. Like I'd write down a list of everything I needed throughout the week. And then I'd go do check off, check off, check off, check off. And like I said, of so many times of doing it, it's kind of become a habit. Like I take multiple trips each year, whether it's in the law enforcement side, whether I'm loading up Pinot and we're going to a seminar or a workshop, or whether I'm taking the hounds. Like I said, last year's trip to Canada. Where else did I go? I went to BB's a couple times. I went to West Virginia for a couple days for their youth day and then their early kill season. So I kind of mix and match what I need. So let's just run down that list and make sure everybody's kind of on the same page. Uh, the first thing that I make sure that I have is dog leads, right? And I always want to take a few extra. That way, if the dog chews them up, if I lose one, everybody knows if you're bear hunting, somehow, some way, we lose leads every year. Somebody either snatches them up, or you leave them at a tree because you unsnapped a dog and forgot about it, or so on and so forth. So leads are kind of the first thing that I look at. The next thing I look at is the tracking collars, making sure I got all my tracking collars. I always pre-charge them, like I have them charged and ready to go, and I'm sure everybody's doing that. And my tracker, I did get to use the XL. This was my first real test run with the Alpha XL. I had played with it here. I had in the living room. I had got everything. I'd run through all the screens that I thought I had already pre-downloaded maps for the area we were going to hunt. I got all the dogs I got my groups loaded, and I thought I had a pretty good handle on it. But I will say that getting down there and actually using it, it was a little different. I do like it. I will say that I do like it, and I actually used it as my GPS coordinator too. Like two of the places we went, I just typed in the address and used it as the GPS. And I normally don't do that. I use my phone or whatever. So trying to using that as a dual purpose technology was actually pretty neat. Um, yeah, I don't have anything bad to say about it. It's taken me a little bit to get accustomed to it, get through the screens. Um, but overall, I enjoyed it. I think it's going to be a great tool. I've got to get a different mount. I don't like the mount, the way that I had it mounted. I had to put it up in my windshield. It blocks the windshield, which I'm not a fan of. And I think I'm going to get me an extra long ram mount and mount it, especially in my hunting truck, in my old truck. I've got a ram mount in it, so I can switch it over and get the right things for it and use it like I want. But in the traveling truck, I don't want to permanently stick something in the truck. So I just stuck it in the window. So the Alpha XL was good. And I know we've talked about this before. I have no affiliation with this company or anything like that. It's just something that over the years I have acquired a lot of the products. And in fact, the last product that I bought was out at the SCI conference in Nashville 2 years ago. So I haven't bought anything for 2 years, but I like to call it. I like to carry my collars and my tracker in the Mud River handler bag. It's an extra big bag, and so I actually took 10 collars. I took 8 dogs, but I always take a couple extra in case something goes wrong. And we all know the Garmin bag's just not big enough. Like you put 10 collars in there, it's jam packed. So this Mud River handler bag is super big. I've got all my tools and my accessories in it. I've got screwdrivers. I've got extra antennas. I carry a black tape. I've got the extra chargers, extra cords, everything that I need to track or to do some maintenance work is in this handler bag. And I really like it because it has, like I said, it has the extra pockets, it has extra size to it. So I really like that product. I've been using it for a couple of years now. I even posted a reel with it a while back. But anyway, I put my charger in there, and I've got the charging bank that's got 10 places to put chargers on. So I can just wrap it up and stick it in there too. And all of my stuff is in one place. My collars, my tracker, my chargers, they're all in that bag. Move it, boom, to the truck, and I've got everything I need. So one of the things that I did not realize that I didn't have, we talk about taking extra leads, but does people take extra collars, like not tracking collars, but just the regular dog collars with them? In my old hunting truck, in my toolbox, I have 2 that's in my toolbox. And as I was going down this list, I realized I don't have them in this new truck. So that's just something to think about. We know how collars get tore up, broke. I was in a competition hunt one night with Brandy, and she got in a barn. And I'm not sure how this happened, but I ended up finding her inside the barn. I guess she went underneath and got up in it, and her collar was gone. So I still had her tracking collar on. So that's what I'm saying. I'm not sure how that happened, but that does happen. And I did ended up walking around the edges and finding that collar. But anyway, it's always good to probably have an extra or 1 or 2 of those in there. The next thing I take is a med kit. Anytime that I have the dogs with me, that med kit is in my truck, whether it's regular hunting season, whether it's traveling, whatever it may be. I've got a med kit with all the stuff that I can possibly use besides going to the vet's office in that bag. And I mean, that's staplers, that's clippers. I've got some medicine. I carry 2 or 3 bottles of medicine with me. I've got gauze. I've got wrap. I've got quick clot. I've got everything that I feel like I need. And this is a combination of sitting through a lot of medical classes for the canine world and seeing what actually happens in the field in the hound world. So I've kind of mixed those 2 together, and I put kind of assortment of both things in to that bag. And again, Mud River products, guys, I can't say enough. They're making products that fit what I'm looking for. So I'm basically using it's a blind bag. It's for duck hunters. It's waterproof. It zips up. It folds over. It's got numerous pockets in it. So on one end of it, I've got my clippers and everything that I need. On the other end of it, I've got some liquids that I put down in it so it don't leak inside the main part of the bag. But the blind bag, I'm just using the standard blind bag. They have 2 or 3 different options, and that's what I carry all my medical supplies in. So that's it. I don't leave home without it. Like it's in whatever I'm doing, I have it with me. Which brings me to the dog food. And looking back over the years that I've traveled, I remember going to Canada one year and going up to a local store and just buying a bag of dog food when I got up there. You all know that I feed Inukshuk, so I'm taking it with me. Like I'm bringing it with me when I go. And I've tried several different methods. I've tried buying the containers from Walmart, the plastic storage containers, and putting it in. It doesn't really fit in the toolbox. You can't put it in a dog box. Somebody will chew through it and end up with it. If you're putting it in the front seat, the back seat, the floorboard, whatever, it takes up a little bit more room. So I've got I bought the Magnum dog food bag from Mud River. Again, I've got, like I said, that's 3 of the products of theirs that I use, and I'm very happy with it. And they do have 2 different sizes. They've got the Magnum, which holds 50 cups, and then they've got the regular one, which holds about 30 cups, 12 pounds, so in there. So it depends on how many dogs I'm taking, how long I'm gonna be gone, so on and so forth. If I'm going for, like when I went to Canada for a week, I actually just threw 2 bags of dog food in the trailer because we pulled a trailer with us. So I actually just took the dog food. But on the short trips, the 3-day trips, even a 5-day trip, I could probably put both bags. I've got both. I've got the big one, the Magnum, and the regular. But to talk about 50 cups, I'm feeding 2 cups per dog. I took 8 dogs, so that's 16 cups a day. I fed it for over 3 days, which is 48 cups. So it was a perfect size. Plus, as the dog food goes away, the bag actually collapses, and it literally fits right underneath the back seat of my truck, so I can stow it away. It's not in the way. It's not taking up a lot of extra space. So that's one of the reasons I really like that bag. That leads us to food bowls. I always, if I'm taking 8 dogs, I usually just throw 8 bowls in there. I actually went to Tractor Supply and bought the little stainless steel bowl. I think they were like $4.99, and I bought a handful of those things, and I keep them underneath my feed cabinet down in the basement. And anytime I go on a trip, I just grab a handful of them and throw them in the dog box, which is up in the storage part. And I also double them as water bowls too. So I don't take double bowls. I feed them, and then I'll use them for the water. So that eliminates a little bit of stuff that I need. Then that leads us to the water. I bought this at one of the canine seminars. I actually bought it when I was in Florida, Orlando. So that's been 4 years ago. I bought the Dakota 283, the 3.5 gallon water. Again, the reason that I did this is I used to carry jugs. And in fact, I carry water jugs in my police car for Pino. He's got one of the buddy bowls in the back, so he's got water all the time. But with it, in the vehicle, it takes up more space, so on and so on. So the Dakota 283, the water, it slides right underneath my back seat again. So I'm using my underneath my back seat as a lot of storage. And I can literally pull the plug, it'll fill the bowl up with water. What I don't use, I just tilt the bowl back, it runs back in, I put the plug in it, and I'm not wasting a bunch of water. It's there to go. So it's worked really, really good. With it going to be hot, it was in the 80s one day, and when I left down there the other day, when I left, it was 91 degrees at 10:30 in the morning. That's way out of my comfort range. But so you got to be prepared for the dogs. Make sure the dogs have what they need. So I always take the Dogs Are Tree, the pre-hydration, mix it in with the water. You just mix it. You just take your little medicine mixer or whatever, little medicine cup, and you can mix it in with how many ever gallons of water you need. And I use my Dogs Are Tree tie outs. I basically don't go on a trip without them, whether I need them or not. They fold up in a bag. They roll up real nice and tight. I can put them in the top of the dog box, and no issues whatsoever. I really like those. I know some people make their own, and I've done that too, and that's absolutely fine. It's whatever you have, use it. Just so happens that over a period of time, I've acquired this stuff. And, guys, that's one thing that people need to understand. One of the reasons I never got out of hunting is because I couldn't afford to get back in it. You start acquiring equipment over, 5 and 10 year period of time. It's not inexpensive. It's not cheap. So all this stuff that I've acquired has been over a long period of time. So anyway, I use the tie outs. One of the biggest headaches I had on this trip is I told you guys that I was going to try to start filming more and downloading it to my YouTube channel. So I had to get my GoPros ready. Of course, with that, you got to get your batteries, you got to get your battery chargers, your mounts, how you're going to mount and video it, how you're going to use them. And then you got to have a computer to download the data on and something to edit the videos, which I started to edit the videos. So I will start posting these when I get them downloaded. I'm having some technical difficulties. I'll just be honest. I am not tech savvy. So the GoPro resolution does not work really well. It's really hard. It's not compatible with the editing software that I'm using. It works, but it doesn't give you a full frame, which I'm not happy about. So I'm trying to figure that out and work through it. So bear with me. We'll get it up. I've put up some reels from the 3 days. So you can see bits and pieces of it, but I will try to put out the full length. And they're not going to be long. They'll be 25, 30 minutes. They're not going to be. And some of the best footage, me and BB, I'll tell you, me and BB were standing in the truck and the dog, we found a track in the road and we put the dogs down and they had to find it and they had to crawl, like the road went right into a big drainage and the dogs just plastered over into the water, like boom. And they're halfway through the water. And I'm like, dadgummit, I should have filmed that. It is so hard for me because I'm watching it for the first time and I want to see what's going on. And having a camera or something going is just, it slips my mind. Like it's not a priority for me. So I'm trying really, really hard and I'm missing some good footage. So hopefully as I continue to do this, I'll get better at it. But the GoPros were a pain in the butt because I had stuff scattered out everywhere. So I packed those up and then I want to, boots. Every time I go down there, you're going to be in water. I just talked about a water drainage. So I I took my rubber boots, which are the Yoders. I got the Yoder Stealth boot with the super chaps. It really helped with the briars. One of the videos you can see, I mean, we're standing right on top of the dogs and you can't see them. They're like 10 foot away. BB's standing 20 foot away from me. I can't see him. I did not wear them that day. And I told BB, I think you can hear in the reel, I'm like, I should have brought my chaps. Well, I didn't. So the next day I made sure that I had them on. So those are really handy. And then I just take my regular boots, when we're out walking around or whatever. And clothing, like everybody's packing for the weather, for the terrain, whatever you're needing. I knew it was going to be warm, so I packed extra light stuff. So I didn't need anything that was heavy. And when you're going through those briars and stuff down there, you definitely need chaps or something. I mean, BB's always got a long sleeve shirt on and leather gloves, and I'm still picking splinters out of my hands because I didn't have gloves on, and I fell through that stuff more than I cared to talk about. It shows how clumsy I am. But anyway, I took the lightest stuff that I had to hunt out of. What did I forget? After all that stuff, we went down through the list. What did I forget? Well, I forgot the bug spray. Thank goodness BB had some. And it was kind of funny. We had a brief conversation. We use the Sawyer. I use Sawyers and he uses Sawyers. So the second and third day, we coated down with it and I still pick ticks off of me. But, I picked that information up from our buddies at the game department when they come and help me teach the tactical tracking class. That's all they use is Sawyers. And I'm like, well, they're using it. They're in the field all the time. It's got to be good stuff. And we've started using it ever since. And we were really pleased with it. I forgot my radio charger. I don't have a radio in this truck. So I used my handheld a lot more because I didn't have a radio in the truck. But BB had a charger, so I was able to charge my radio after the second day and get it back up and running. And one of the other things I forgot was I have a whole pack of the Canine Electro Boost from Elite Nutrition. I got it from LW Nixon with Cajun, and our good friend James Hudson, he has it and sells it. So I forgot that when I got home. I started looking for it. I'm like, I just my mind. But anyway, that would be like after. The pre stuff is what I use with the dogs archery, the pre-hydration, and the electro boost would be something you could use after you come back. And it was extremely hot. Dogs, man, they did fine, but I would have liked to had it just to kind of like a safety net, right? Never know what the dogs are going to need. So I'm going to hang it on my pegboard. That way, the next time I go, I can see it, and I'll make sure that I take it with me. Final tips like, pack light, be smart about it. We got to check all of our regulations and stuff like that. I buy my license down there, I'm all good to go. And one of the things that I want to emphasize here is we should always, always, always prioritize what the dog needs, whether it's gear wise, whether it's medical, safety, whatever it is. Like, I want to make sure that the dogs, and if you listen to what I said, when I pack stuff, I started with the dogs. I always start with what the dog needs. So that's me. That's just a brief rundown of what I did for the trip. And like I said, it was just a 3-day trip. And most of the stuff slid under the back seat of my truck. Cooler. Of course, we always take a cooler with us. BB got him a nice little ice machine, so that made it real nice, just throwing ice in every day. But pack smart, prioritize the dogs, and the more you do it, if you're not already doing it, the more you do it, the easier it becomes. And, then you'll say, oh, yeah, I should have brought that last time, and so on and so forth. Make a list if you need it. But that was it. And before we finish up, this coming weekend is Memorial Day weekend. Okay. And Memorial Day is usually observed on the last Monday in May. And it is to honor and remember the men and women in the armed forces who died in service for our country. It was basically known as Declaration Day after the Civil War. And it has evolved into a national day of remembrance, right? For many, Memorial Day is a time of reflection and gratitude. It's always a day to honor those who made the ultimate sacrifice while serving the military, recognizing not just their bravery, but their impact for the loss to their families and their communities. It serves a reminder of the cost of freedom and the importance of remembering history. Even with a weekend packed with barbecues, long cookouts, gatherings, campouts, which is what we'll be doing, the heart of Memorial Day is about remembering and respect. So with Memorial Day weekend coming up, make sure that everybody takes time to reflect on that and just be grateful for the men and women that have served the ultimate sacrifice. Next week, we'll actually catch you up on the 3-day hunt. Catch you guys next week on What's Up Wednesday.